Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. That's right, this is Biking Buddies, the motor vlog, and we are deep in the Yorkshire Dales today. However, this video isn't going to come for you from the Yorkshire Dales, and let me explain why. So we'll get ourselves tucked into this little lay-by here just above Leyburn. I've been slowly working my way west as we go along, just thinking about the intro, what we're going to do, what the video is going to include, etc. And let me quieten the bike down. I don't know whether you can see up there, but we have completely lost the head of the valley. Now, the forecast today was always west was going to be slightly wetter, a little bit of showers, but not coming in till around about the back end of the day, kind of 5-6 o'clock in the evening. Here we are at 10 o'clock in the morning, and the rain is barreling down the valley. So we're very fortunate where I live that we're not overly far between the two national parks, the Yorkshire Dales where we presently are, and the North Yorkshire Moors across to the east. Now, east is going to be drier, so that's where I'm going to head, and that's where we'll pick this video up. So on that note, in fine Biking Buddies fashion, grab yourself a brew, grab yourself a beer, and whilst you do that, I'll zip across to the North Yorkshire Moors National Park, and that's a good opportunity to roll VT.
Where do you go when you're young, when you're restless, when you're fun, cause you're desperate? Oh, here they come for a chance, for adventure. What's your poison, what's your pleasure?
Okay, so that is the titles out the way. I find myself now climbing up onto the western shoulder of the North Yorkshire Moors National Park. Those that are familiar with the area will know exactly where I am. I'm just coming up to the Arden estate, so I've just come through the beautiful little hamlet of Kepwick, and you can see we've got the sun is out. Now, by heading east, am I going to stay dry all day? Well, no, probably not, in truth, but by staying west, would I have been through the showers or predominantly wet all day? Well, I probably would have been wet all day, to be fair. And whilst trail riding is trail riding, and riding in the west is very definitely part and parcel of that equation, I would far rather ride in the dry, as most people would. So given that we are blessed with this amazing area and being blessed with the T7, really the road sections, it's absolutely no drama. It was very pleasant and very pleasurable riding across here, and I could see the weather was a lot brighter over to the east. I can look across to the west and I can see those big clouds barreling, and yes, I may well get a bit of a shower, but predominantly I'm going to stay dry. So let's see how we get on. I'm going to take a few hours off the day now because I have come across the road section, but in essence we will just see how we go. I'll take some familiar trails. It's going to be good fun anyway. It always is being out on the bike, whether you have a long day, a full day, or a short day. It doesn't really matter. That's the beauty of where we live. And there we are, right on cue. Here comes the rain. So if we're looking out east, we can see lots of sun, decent weather. Morning! Lots of sun and lots of decent weather. If we look across to the south and the west, let's just jump up here a second. You can see lots and lots of rain clouds just barreling across. So will we feel them here? Yes, we will. We've got the Yorkshire Dales over there right in the distance, and then the Vale of Mowbray, and then the air pressure compresses up again. So typically this side of the Yorkshire Moors will get a little bit of rain, but as we work our way across to the east, then it should stay considerably drier, but a little bit of rain never hurt anybody. Morning! So we're going to work our way across the Arden estate here, drop down into the Rydale Valley, and then we'll probably pick the footage up a little bit deeper along. It's a beautiful trail across the top of Arden. I've done that plenty of times before. It's on the other videos. We'll probably pick this up somewhere on about Cen Mill, that kind of area, when we're down deep into the woodland, and let's see what's happening down there, because I would imagine the bluebells will be out, the daffodils are out, spring has definitely long sprung. We're in British summertime now. So without further ado, let's get on this bike and get ourselves trailwood. Well, I guess this is what they call rush hour on the Arden estate. Thank you very much. Rush hour on the Arden estate, and just to prove that east is drier, look at this. I'm absolutely soaking wet now coming through that rain shower, but yes, east is most definitely dry. So I am glad that I came across here, even though we had that little shower storm there, that little hailstorm. The Arden estate looking as beautiful as ever, and the T7 feeling fantastic on these trails, I must admit. I've opted to fly solo today purely because I brought the drone with me, and the idea was that I was going to do a lot of dronage across the Yorkshire Dales. That might be dronage across the North Yorkshire Moors now, but we'll just see how we go. I'm not a massive fan of getting it wet, popping it up in these showers, so and obviously when we get the showers there's quite a lot of compressed wind with that as well, so we'll just see how we get on. If we can get the drone up, we will. If not, well, hey ho, it's a trip out for the drone. And quite a bit of regrading down here. It's a little bit loose underfoot, or loose under wheel, should I say. Beautiful part of the world. I know I say that every time I come down this Arden area, and I don't really travel on it that much, but seeing as I made that transit from west to east, yes, very definitely a beautiful, beautiful part of the world. Oh, these are the start of the bluebells. So the bluebells aren't quite out yet. We're a little bit early for bluebells, but all of this embankment here is covered in bluebells. Well, that didn't go according to plan. That really is super, super slippy. Right, let's get this bike picked up. Trouble is, I've got no traction on my feet. Blimey. That is astronomically slippy. Yeah. I wouldn't care to walk this, but look at the brown. That is uber slip. Right. Yeah. Let's try that again, shall we? Oh dear me. One thing with these T7s, once they've been on the side, as we've just seen there, they have what's classified as a tip switch, which kind of is a little bit like a mercury switch, I believe. So that was just front wheel completely slipping out from under me. Hopefully that'll be that. Whoa, slip again. I guess now the weather's warming up, all the algae is starting to grow and form in the bottom. Right, so we were looking for a little bit of a dynamic shot from bridge cam, albeit we've probably got more dynamic shots from lid cam, and I only put that on to get a bit of audio, so let's go retrieve bridge cam. Incidentally, this is what I was talking about here. Look, this section, I did walk this, it's a little bit slippy there, so grippy on the outside and then across to the middle. But this stuff, this is the algae that I was talking about, particularly the lighter brown there. So hey ho, let's get bridge cam and get on our way. Right, so here we are, a little bit of a lunch stop in the Rye Valley, overlooking Revo Abbey down there to my left. Now, we just had a dunking, a very good dunking as you've seen there, just laid completely on my side in the river, not according to plan, I might add. But one question that is asked quite often is how waterproof are sealskin socks that I wear. So let's hand over to Bike Cam and let's take a look at sealskin socks, and we'll have a look indeed. So we'll pop you down there, but we'll keep you going just for the audio. It may just take a little while to demontage everything, but I can certainly feel a little bit of the wet stuff slopping around in this boot. So this was the side I went down on, as we know. So if we have a look at the boot, yeah, not a massive amount of water, most of it's been soaked up by the sock. Sock is absolutely saturated, as you can see, as you'd well expect. Tell you what, let's knock the knee armour off, and then we'll be able to get the sock off a little bit easier. And what'll be interesting to see is underneath this sock, bearing in mind this is the dunked sock, so let's have a quick look at that. Is that wet? Yep, most definitely, very definitely a wet sock. And if we switch back to, are we clean? Clean enough. So if we have a quick look there, sock is pretty much completely bone dry. Tiny little bit of damp on the bottom there. Now we've got a damp heel from sticking on the bottom. Yes, so sealskin socks, absolute winner, chicken dinner. Superb. Well, that was absolutely superb timing there with lunch. Just clicking into a little bit of the rain, but I had a very nice sunny lunch. So yes, I'm going to do one more trail after this one, I think, in terms of the video, and then I'll get the thing shut down and make my way home. It is a Sunday, so before the working week. And what I am trying to do with this ride is avoid the muddy stuff, because that Anlast Capra X that I keep going on about, the rear tyre, well, that's just on about 5,000 miles now though, so we've hit target. Looking at the tread on it, it's pretty much spent, so whilst I'm okay on loose rock, compacted surfaces, anything that's a bit mud, then it is definitely struggling on. And I don't want to compromise the riding and the areas I'm riding because of the tyre, so I have contacted my local garage, Crofton Court. They're also an Anlast dealer, and they're going to fit me out with a set of front and rears. So when you do see me back the pace down here for these muddy sections and I end up riding like Miss Daisy, it's because essentially I'm virtually riding road rubber on the rear. There's virtually no tread at all, so it does make for a little bit of an interesting life. And you can just hear there, just touch the throttle and it just spins right up when it's on the mud. In fact, what'll be interesting is this is a Tenere, isn't it? Yeah. So let's just have a quick look at that tyre. You've just seen me come across a little bit of arable there, mostly gravel, it has to be said. So this is why I'm needing to change the tyre up there. Virtually completely bereft of tread. There's probably about 1.5 mil on the centre band, a little bit on the edges obviously, because it is an off-road tyre. So this type of muddy slop stuff, it really struggles. The gravel stuff, less of an issue. Hey ho, we seem to be just moving ahead of this rain. Let's get ourselves over to Cen Mill. And this is the very beautiful descent down into Cen Mill. It is going to be a little bit muddy down here, so I'm kind of just playing it a bit risky with this back tyre and the lack of thread. But what is very, very nice to see today is all of the primroses that are out. We're a little bit early for the bluebells, but the primroses are definitely out, and that is a sign of that warmer weather that has periodically been feeding in there. So they always say there's no such thing as bad weather, just inappropriate clothing, and always come prepared when you're trail riding. Spare gloves, it's an absolute must. So yeah, the soggy gloves are in the back of the bike now, in the dry pack there, and the spare gloves are on, and we have lovely dry hands. So here we are down in the gorgeous Cen Mill. We're just going to take our time up here. This is going to be the last filmed trail. We'll get ourselves up to the gate, and then we'll make our way up through the woodland. Oh blimey, it looks quite rutted with all of the wash off from the rain. That's gonna be, oh no way, it's a Tenere gate. Dear me, do you know, I should have realised that. I should have realised that. There we go, that's better. Now what's interesting is there is a little bit of a wire strop here. I'm wondering whether the landowner has put a temporary closure on that. No, they haven't. It's just a little bit of a gate tie. That's the cynic in me there. Okay, here we go. So the wind over the tops has been quite challenging today, as in it's too windy for the drone. So I do apologise. It has been, as I indicated at the beginning there, just a little bit of a day tip for the drone. It hasn't actually been out of the bag, albeit it did get a little bit of a dunk in there. This is an absolutely beautiful place. If you ever get the chance to come and ride down in Cen Mill, I would seriously recommend it. I mean, look how pretty this is on a day like today. And there's all the primroses, look, just nestled there. So this is where we climb a little bit up to the gate. Let's get a little bit of momentum on to make up for that lack of traction. Looking at all these gullies with the rainwater wash off. There we go. And this is a Tenere gate as well. So we just struggled a little bit there with the lack of momentum and grip. Keep the old bike in gear, drop the ignition off, and let's have a little bit of a look around at how unbelievably fantastic Cen Mill is. Listen to that. You can hear the wind across the top of the canopy. Don't know if you can see that moving there. Pretty sheltered down here in the dell, as it were. And this is what I'm talking about with the runoff. Obviously the camera just belittles any severity of gradients or lumps and bumps. And there's the old T7. We're going to climb up, 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 up and out, and then across the arable fields. This is just, there's something about Cen Mill. It's just a little bit of one of those magical places. I mean, wow, this is superb. Decent bit of wood there, shame we can't get that on the fire. Okay then, 2, 1, and we've got the long walk back down to get the bike and through the gate. But in the meantime, we can enjoy this beautiful place, Cen Mill. Absolutely fantastic. Climb, 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 baby, climb away. Up we go, up we go. Absolutely fantastic. Yep, Cen Mill, you never ever fail to deliver. And here we are yet again. Okay, so that's us pretty much at the top now. This is always a good stop for a brew, a beverage, and that's exactly what I'm going to do today. Going to get myself pulled up here to the left, just off the trail. Quite often you get some quite large farm machinery coming down here. So I'll just get pulled up here and we'll have ourselves a brew with the remnants of the flask. So here we are then, folks, the end of the video. If you have stuck with me all the way to this point, then thank you very much for your company as always. Both returning and new subscribers alike, all very welcome here. I hope you enjoyed this week's video, even the impromptu dunking for yours truly. No harm done, just a little bit of wet kit, which is bone dry now, and some wet gloves to dry off, but hey ho, spare gloves always saves the day. So, the final thing for me to say to you guys is, if you haven't done so already, then please hit that subscribe button. It does wonders for the YouTube algorithm, but it also keeps you guys up to date with what's been and what's to come as well. And speaking of what's to come, we've got a couple of prescribed TRF days, Trail Riders Fellowship days ahead of us. One of them is a Path Keeper scheme, and if you don't know anything about the Path Keeper scheme, then have a look next week. Uploads on Friday, and I'll detail exactly what it is that we're up to in terms of where we've been helping to conserve green roads. In addition to that, we are now in April. By the time we'll be watching this, 2 weeks from now, we'll have completed the April monthly social ride. It's in the Yorkshire Dales, and yours truly, I'm going to lead a ride. I'm going to do it for the ADV sector again, but this time I'm going to make it quite challenging, both challenging for myself and also anybody that chooses to participate as well. So that one very definitely will be worth tuning in for. Who knows what's going to happen? I certainly don't, and I know that for me, I'll be pushing myself well outside of my comfort zone as well. But it's about time that we did that on a more regular basis. I can't really do it on my own too much, because there comes a point where self-rescue and picking the bike up etc. becomes problematic, but certainly when you're in a group of people, as I've often said with the TRF, the Trail Riders Fellowship, many helping hands when needed. So the very closing thing to say, we did get there in the end, folks. Thank you. Whatever you're doing, folks, wherever you are, enjoy your ride, keep it safe, keep it shiny side up, and from me in the North Yorkshire Moors, which should have been the Yorkshire Dales, and the top of Cen Mill, thank you very much guys, take care, and we'll catch you for the next one. Cheers folks, bye. Bye now, bye.